Hi guys, so I asked a few streamers a question. So I'm looking at doing a video on oppression. I feel like a lot of things have happened as a consequence to the hateful feminism we saw in the past. What do you think when I say men are oppressed? And this is the result.
Um, I'm looking at doing a video on oppression. I feel like a lot of things have happened as a consequence of the hateful feminism we saw in the past. What do you think when I say men are oppressed to an extent? I would agree. I also think that it's kind of dumb to do I don't know. I'm not saying that I'm not saying it's dumb to talk about, but I think that trying to play the whole this group is oppressed and this group is oppressed. You can find a way that any group is oppressed. Literally any group in America. You can find a way that they are oppressed. So I don't know. But yes, men are oppressed in certain ways. Everybody's
Interesting.
oppressed. Yeah, exactly. Comrade, everyone is and everyone is oppressed. It's so simple, guys. We have figured out America.
Just ask a question. So I'm looking at doing a video on oppression. I feel like a lot of things have happened as a consequence to the hateful feminism we saw in the past. What do you think when I say men are oppressed to an extent? Men are oppressed. Men are oppressed, but not by feminism. Men are oppressed because of capitalism. That's my take. These nuts.
I'm gonna ask him why he feels
Oh,
that
Thin
way.
Ice. Great song. Why do you feel that way? Because both men and women are oppressed by capitalism. But because feminism uh is a movement and ideology that centers around women gaining equality to men, men see it as a threat for some weird reason. Was that a good time for a D's nuts joke? Or was that a good time? Men are oppressed in the family court in the USA. Yeah, that's because of the patriarchy and not because of feminism. Like, men literally oppressed men at the family court because men are fucking idiots, dog. Patriarchy's so stupid.
Can I please ask a question? So I'm looking at doing a video on how men are oppressed. I feel like a lot of things have happened as a consequence to the hateful feminism we saw in the past. What do you think when I say, quote, men are oppressed to an extent? Um, I don't, well, before that I disagreed with your framing, but it's not crazy. It's you say that the hateful feminism or whatever, but I don't think inherently feminism is hateful. I think that what we consider the quote third wave feminism, like each whatever these waves are exactly, they seem to be a little bit more toxic than the previous version. That those considering themselves like what third wave feminists or whatever, they're usually hateful bitches. I'll give you that. But certainly classically, feminism is what brought about women being able to vote and some equality in the workforce, which we still have not seen as far as pay is concerned. If you want to talk about men being oppressed, certainly there is an argument to be made. In modernity, it's almost like an overreaction, and because we live in a mostly a society mostly run by men still, whether we're speaking about the leaders of companies or in government. It is still a patriarchy. So we don't always respond to cries of unfairness towards men as I think we should. It's certainly, yeah, in that we could sort of be overreact to that to that fact that for so long, for so many years, that men basically ran society, and is somewhat still true, but much less than it used to be. Certainly, when we're speaking about statistics relating to um, mostly education is what which it stands out for me.
Mm.
The fact that there are 2 women for every man in college today in the U.S. at least.
Oh,
That
he
is an
knows the
outrageous
60
statistic,
point.
is it not?
Oh,
And
they know.
yeah, and that there's 2 girls for every 1 boy.
The
Yes.
60-40 ratio. That's interesting that they've said that.
Um, yeah, so so to say, I think that a lot of people are sort of laughed at or laughed out of the conversation when they're saying stuff like that the men are oppressed or whatever. But I think as long as you focus the conversation and that there is demonstrable evidence of unfairness um in certain aspects of our society that we shouldn't ignore, just like
Mm.
we shouldn't ignore if that statistic was flipped, if there was 2 guys for every girl going to college, as I'm sure was the case like 50 years ago, without looking it up. I'll just assume that was the case, but
Mm.
um
So, what was really interesting about this is that I approached 3 different Twitch streamers. I got 3 different results, but all of them said that they felt men were oppressed. I personally feel like that in some situations men are oppressed, in other situations women are oppressed. It really depends on the situation. It's not black and white. But what I found interesting is they all had different explanations, they all had different reasonings, and it was a very, very interesting, I guess you would say, social experiment. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you guys do enjoy this, feel free to give me your opinion down below on whether or not you think men are oppressed or whether or not you think women are oppressed, or like, let's have a conversation because I miss that about old school YouTube. Let's have a conversation down below, or if you'd like to come and chat in my group chat, feel free to come to the Discord and we can chat there too. But it's a very interesting conversation. Anyway, I will see you later.